Okay, so the first thing I do is thread the needle. And then you just want to make it like extra freaking long, like longer than you think, because you don't want it to be too short. So basically pull it through and then like so that the needle is here and there's 2 strings coming off. So I'm just gonna cut it. Okay, and then you have to make a knot at the end of this. So just put the 2 ends together. Tie it in a knot. I usually just like this. And then loop it around. You know how to tie a knot. You know how to tie a knot. But... And then I do it like 3 times because you don't want it to accidentally go through the fabric. I'm just gonna do it twice though, because oh fuck, I dropped it. Dude, my arms are shaking. I don't know why my arms are shaking from a run, but they are. Okay, so basically you have 2 strings, and then the needle will be all the way at the other end. So it's pulled tight. It's even on both sides. Okay, this is my hole. And then these are the pins. So these like have little pin thing on the top so you can like hold the fabric. So basically just hold it straight. And you just put the pins in like overlapping. So you go in one side and then put a little bit through and then come out the other side. Just make sure that you're cutting both sides of the fabric. And then you do that along the whole hole and do like 1 or 2 extra past the opening of the hole. So basically you just pinch the edges of the hole together until they're super flat and even, and then you just put your pins in. And I would most likely overlap them just because you don't want the fabric to have any like holes when you're sewing it, but this is what it will look like when it's pinned. And then once you'll sew, your stitching will be above the pins. So since you're working on a couch, normally if you were sewing like a shirt or something, you pin the hole when it's inside out and then you sew it so that when you turn it inside in, it's like a seam. But since you don't have that, basically you're just gonna have to pin it and kind of like make it super even and like as small as possible, which is fine. But after you pin it, you're ready to start. So you grab the needle and just keep making sure that there's no like unevenness, like make sure one side isn't like hanging out. So just keep pulling it like all the way through till it's flat. And so where you want to start is like before the hole. So the hole starts like here, so I'm just gonna go like over here. I'm just gonna go through. And then pull the needle all the way through until it hits the knot. And just make sure that there's no like loops coming out, because sometimes one side will come through and the other won't, so you just have to just pull it like that. So like extend it all the way. And then you basically come back. So your needle's gonna be going in the same side all the way down and coming out the same side. So we only go in on the same side. Just make sure you're getting the other side, because sometimes it's not even. And then, okay, it's getting stuck, but just pull it through. And then you kind of see how it loops around like this. And then you tighten it again. And then you just keep doing this all the way down. So basically it's like a little slanted stitch. Just make sure when you're pulling it, like all the threads are even. And like, see, sometimes the tail of it gets caught in there, so you just like pull it out. And then that's uneven, so I just like pull it till it's like tight and even. Okay, so here's a little bit done. So you want to keep the stitches above the pins. So you like a pointer. So your pins are basically going to be down here, and then your stitches are going to be up here at the top. So make sure you don't accidentally like loop in the pin. But since I've sewed this already, I can take out this pin. Or you can leave in the pins the whole time. I don't know. I think it's satisfying to take it out as you go. But you basically just do that all the way down. Okay, I'm not going to sew it all the way because I'm lazy, but let's say this is the end of the hole. So now you need to tie a knot so that it doesn't unravel. So I just tighten it like really tight, like probably more tight than you should, but you just want to make sure you're picking up all of the looseness in here. But also with every stitch, you should be pulling it super tight as you go to make sure that it's tight as possible. So what I do now is tie a knot, and I use the needle to tie the knot. So you like make your circle, and then I just put the needle like through it, and then I just put my finger on where it crosses over, and then I pull it so that the knot is like super close to the fabric. Did it work? Okay, wait, I just tied it around this little piece. Okay, there's the knot. There we go. So yeah, mine wasn't that close, but I fucked up, but you know, it's fine. And then I'll usually do it again. So like keeping the cross of the thread right near the hole, and then put your finger on it, pull the needle. Okay. The hard part about this is making the two knots be in this exact same spot. Like mine are far apart. You want to like put it right on top of the other one. So it kind of takes some patience and manipulation, and you have to really be careful, but I believe you can do it. And then when you're done, you just cut that bitch off and you're done. Yeah, let me pull it out. So that's what it looks like. Oh yeah, take your pins out. But yeah, as long as the thread matches, I feel like it should be okay. Obviously I used white on black so you could see, but I would say keep this as small as possible, as much as you can, but I think you'll be fine. Oh, and one more thing. So your starting knot, cut that off too. Just cut it as close to the knot as possible, but don't cut the knot off. So cute. But yeah, if this doesn't make sense to you, just let me know. I'll further explain everything.